Hi everyone, this is Heidi from flutterbyheidi.wordpress.com, back again here with another project for you. And this is actually one I was intending to share with you before Christmas, but it's now Boxing Day, so how appropriate we're going to make a box. The chaos in my house has been enormous with the new kitchen being fitted, so I just didn't have time to, or the piece, to actually get some filming done. So here I am here, and as you can see, I originally prepped this as a Christmas project to go with a bottle of wine or a little gift, and it's an origami box. So you slide off the belly band, which is there for decoration, and then you open it up, and of course it has Ferrero Rocher in. Now it actually holds 4 Ferreros, so it's perfect as a little gift and much nicer than those packs of 4 that you can buy in the local shops. So to start off with, I'm going to now make it in some pretty spring colours. I'm just thinking, you know, actually you might be going to somebody or just saying a little thank you for something they've done, or just as a thank you gift for someone. So I thought we'd make it in some sweet sugar plum and use this lovely stamp set here, which is All Things Thanks, which is one of the new ones, along with some new framelits. So it's a bit of a sneak peek for the new catalogue, which is only just about a week away. So without further ado, you need a piece of card which is 20 by 20 centimetres, so that is 8 by 8 inches. And the first thing you're going to do is actually mark at 5, 10 and 15 centimetres on all 4 sides. So literally you're just going to come in and 5, 10, 15 and 20 is the end. Okay, I've obviously done it in, I cut it in inches. Okay, as you can see there's a smidge of difference in the size between the centimetres and inches, but it really is sort of, in terms of the Ferrero, it actually doesn't make any difference whatsoever in terms of fitting it in, but it's obviously it's just I've rounded them to make it easier for you. So we'll do it again. So 5, 10 and 15 on each side. 5, 10 and 15, and rotate. And of course what we could have done, which is what I should have done, is mark top and bottom. Oh dear. Back into the crafting. I will get better, honestly. 5, 10 and 15. Because obviously what I do is I do these and I write out the instructions, and then sometimes sort of the things I do automatically I forget, because I'm sort of just checking back to my instructions the whole time to make sure that it matches with what I'm going to put on my blog as well later. Okay, so you've marked 5, 10 and 15, or 2, 4, 6 and 8 inches, depending on which measurements you're using on all 4 sides. Then you're going to score diagonally on all 4 sides at from the middle points. So it's these middle ones here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up on my scoreboard like so, and just come down. So there you go. So just line up those points. Obviously if you've got one of the scoreboards with the diagonal plate, you could use that as well. That would work, but you know, a lot of people, you know, haven't got that now, so this is how I do it, either with a ruler or on my scoreboard. Okay, so you've marked your four diagonals, and then you're going to score vertically to the first cross point at 10 centimetres. So sorry, and you're also going to score diagonally at 2 and 4 inches as well. Oh! Okay, so we're going to score on these ones too. Okay, so again you're going to line them up, and you're going to make, it just makes us a really nice crisscross pattern. And obviously this is another one that is, you know, it is an origami box, so you will find instructions out there on how to make this with the origami. But of course what you do then is, with card it doesn't really work very well, and also you get those kind of, you know, nasty score lines in the middle, which you know, don't look so pretty. Right, now you've done both sets of diagonals, you can see there, and what you're now going to do, okay, is you're going to score down to this cross point here on all 4 sides. So if you line it up at 10 centimetres, obviously 4 inches. Just come down to the first cross point and up on the bottom there. Okay, rotate and repeat. So at 10 centimetres, so the top one and the bottom one. Okay, so you've got those score lines there. Then you're going to line it up at 2.5 centimetres on the right here, and you're coming down to this score point here, cross point even. See? And rotate and repeat. So 2.5 centimetres, that's an inch if you're working in inches. Just line it up and come down to this point here. So repeat again. Okay, and rotate and repeat again. Okay. And then that's all the scoring finished for your basic box. And obviously what we're now going to do is come in and fold and burnish all those score lines. So if you do the diagonals first, like so, and then what I suggest you do is you're going to do these ones here. So those ones should just fold up, okay, like so. And then this one is the one you really want to burnish. So fold over each corner. This is the bit that makes our flaps that tuck in. So there you have your basic box, and you're going to go, how on earth is that ever going to come together? Well, what I suggest you do is you put your Ferrero in first. I've just raided those from my other one. Bring up the sides, and then it is literally like a box, the top of a box when you cross it over. So if you fold in one side, bring the point in, fold in the other side, then it'll start to come together, and the last one comes in, and all you do to close it is pop that flap in like so. And there you have your basic box. Okay. Just squeeze in places where perhaps I haven't been as accurate as I might have been. That's what happens when you get flustered, but it'll look fine. So there's your basic box. You then need a strip of, I've used Designer Series paper, and this is the lovely Blooms and Bliss. And I have cut a strip that is it's 5 by 23 centimetres, so 9 by 2 inches. And you're going to score, okay, at 4 centimetres, at 7.5, at 15, and at 20. And that is 1.5, 2 7/8, 5 7/8, and 7 7/8. And then just lightly, just crease those with your fingers. You could just wrap it round if you wanted to. I personally prefer not to, because I just, with these ones I find that if you've done it right, I've actually done it wrong. I will correct those measurements on my blog for you, and make sure I've got those right. That's what it should look like, with the crease in the right place. And then all you do is come in with a bit of fuse, and don't do it too tight, but just pop that around. Okay, so there's our box. And then to finish it off, I've used the new framelits, which cut out this beautiful shape here. And to stick this down, all I'm actually going to do is come in with a little bit of Tombow, and you see I'm just using I'm not worrying too much about the centre here, because that's actually going to be covered up in a moment. So there's our flower. I'm going to come in on the edge with our leaves again, because that's going to be covered up like so. There we go. And then, so this is an opportunity we could use the sponge technique, where you use a bit of glue on a piece of sponge, and that will help glue those in place. And then I've stamped thank you on a piece of card, and all I'm going to do is pop that up on a dimensional for you, or a couple of dimensionals actually, and I've just trimmed that down to size once I've stamped it. And to get the actual sentiment is thank you for everything you do, whereas I just wanted to thank you, so I've just used my markers on that to give the sentiment. So I will check those measurements. It's probably me, but hopefully well, I will put all the correct measurements on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed watching, fumbling and everything. Take care, see you soon, bye bye.